What's up, everybody? My name is OMG WTF LOL FTWBRB. Welcome back to more of the WWE versus TEW, the weekly series where we I'm not even gonna say weekly series with a straight face. The series where we take the events and shows that we books, run them in a game to see just how well the WWE does against TEW, or if TEW will be the company that brings the WWE down to its knees. You know the series. It is the week of WWE versus TEW, and I'm uploading like the first week of September, all of it. Raw, Smackdown, 205 Live, and I know I said in the Raw video I wasn't sure about the Mae Young Classic, but it turns out, indeed, the Mae Young Classic did start this week, so we'll also be doing the Mae Young Classic. I got a little bit more information about that, but I'll get to it when we get to that episode, so. These are probably going to be up a little late. I was hoping to get them uploaded on Tuesday, September 25th. Of course, the day after Monday. Duh. But I did fall asleep. I had a headache. I took a nap. And, well, now it's 9 o'clock. I still have to record Smackdown and watch 205 Live. So, I don't think they're going to be up on time, but I will get them uploaded for you guys. So, if they're uploaded on Wednesday, they are uploaded on Wednesday. That is fine. We'll just continue moving forward. So, oh, shoot. Since I'll boost up some time here. We'll give Miz and Truth good old 10 minutes. I'll try to get them off of this thing here, mostly because I'm not going to say it's my fault, because it's really not my fault that I got to fill in your guys' time, because it's like commercial breaks and all that, but that really shouldn't fault them as well, because, well, you know, it's commercial breaks, so why should they be affected by the commercial break? So let's try, there we go. That filled it up enough time. So here we go. The first Smackdown of September, main evented by The Miz and R-Truth. Let's do this. So we open up the show with a 62 solid C rating here. Why weren't people following the script? Hold on, let's go back. Why do I seem like I always have a problem with this the most, like scripts? I don't understand it, but it seems like that is always my problem, is some people just deciding to go into business for themselves and not follow the script. And that, of course, is Miz and Maurice. They're not even on screen, though, so why would that matter? Are you kidding me, game? Fucking stupid. Okay, here we go. 60 solid C rating. What the heck? Who's not following scripts? Does it automatically take Renee Young and them off? Dude. Bro. That's a horrible Vince Russo. Bro. What are you doing? What is this game? Brian, see, they need to be rated on entertainment, though, game. Because they talk. But they're like in a little pro. Okay, whatever. I guess we'll put them on screen to avoid this. But you better not take them off their freaking script this time. Okay, 61 solid C rating here for the opening angle. Ignore the fact that Miz and Maurice are on screen. That's the game's fault, not my fault. The game kept taking them off script, and it really shouldn't, but whatever, you just saw. It's stupid. But we open up the night with Renee Young calling out Brie and Daniel Bryan, and they take this time to take a jab at both Miz and Maurice. Miz and Maurice interrupt them because they are on a date. Well, no, they don't interrupt them, not quite yet. Hold on. They a video was played showing that Miz and Maurice were here earlier in the night when nobody was here, no crowd, no nothing, because Miz wanted to save Bryan the embarrassment of being beaten up in front of his fans. So they called them out, but Bryan and Brie weren't here. So they're out of here. They left. They're out on a date right now. But Zelina Vega and Andrade Cien Almas, they take the perfect opportunity here. They are not going to let this opportunity slip through their hands. Last week, Andrade took a challenge against Daniel Bryan, and he's doing the same challenge tonight. He wants a match against Daniel Bryan, and Bryan's going to give it to him. So let's get to it. Angle got the crowd hotter. Bryan came across well. Miz was good. Vega was underwhelming. I blame most of her popularity faults for that. But it did go ahead and lose heat for Bryan and Miz, which is unfortunate. Maurice is improving in her acting, though. And then we open up with our opening match of the night, 70 C+ rating here. I think this actually did worse than last week's match. Decent matchup. Daniel Bryan goes over Andrade Cien Almas in 8 minutes, 19 seconds. This match got the crowd hotter. Bryan with an in-ring performance of a 75. Andrade Cien Almas with a 62. So the push of Andrade continues, and like I said, he's a guy I'm looking forward to the most. You know, before I forget, I just remembered this off the top of my head. It's kind of a shame that we took Brie Bella out of that tag match on Monday Night Raw, because we didn't get to see her almost kill herself with that suicide dive. Good God, is Brie Bella on a roll? I mean, almost kills herself with a suicide dive, knocks Liv Morgan out on Raw last night. Like, Jesus, dude. What is Brie up to, man? I guess this advanced the storyline. I didn't think it would advance it if Andrade was a minor person, but it did. So, okay. And then afterwards, 67 C+ rating as Zelina Vega is checking on Andrade. Brie Bella takes a quick cheap shot on Zelina Vega while she can. Eventually, Miz and Maurice appear on the screen, and they're doing the whole Daniel Maurice, and then they're all like, Arrivederci, or, you know, Buongiorno, stuff like that. And just, you know, mocking Bryan and them, talking about how they were there and how they're cowards. But, you know, they decided that they're going to go to, I don't know, some Italian restaurant here in Detroit because it's date night, and they rented out the whole place because they don't want to have to eat with anybody else. And then they, you know, Arrivederci. So there you have that. 67 C+ for that. 53 C- as we hype up the fact that we will see an exclusive interview with both Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, and that is next. 52 D+ as we also hype up the fact that we are going to have our second triple threat tag team match that will determine who will face the New Day at Hell in a Cell. It'll be Rusev Day versus the Usos versus Sanity. And then 72 B- as Dasha Fuentes runs into Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella backstage in the parking lot, who are leaving, and they are quick to leave because apparently they're also going to go out on a date. They think it's date night as well for them, and I think they're thinking Italian as well, so who knows what that'll happen with there. It's pretty much insinuated, though, that they're going after Miz and Maurice. 55 C- as we get a look back on the feud between Becky Lynch and Charlotte so far, so pretty much just showing Becky turn her back on her, attack her, call her a bitch from last week, which I can't believe I forgot that that's what she said. I remember I was like, oh, apparently Becky Lynch said something here, but I really don't remember what she said. She called her a bitch. She did the whole, you bitch. I mean, how could I forget that? 61 solid C rating as we have our exclusive interview with both Charlotte and Becky Lynch. Charlotte talks about how, you know, she threw away a 5-year friendship for just a championship, and if she really wanted the title match, she could have just asked. Becky Lynch has the great line, like, I could have just asked, Your Majesty. Screw you. I'm not a charity case. Like, it was great stuff. Becky Lynch is killing it right now as a heel. She is killing it. This is a good feud. I'm enjoying this. 70 C+ rating as we hype up Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy at Hell in a Cell, in Hell in a Cell as well. And then we have our final part of episode 2, 3-parter of the John Cena and Friends featuring Stone Cold Steve Austin. Last episode on Raw, we saw the two getting a little bit of a bar brawl before it ended up taking out this big old meathead with the Stone Cold Stunner, John Cena Stunner combination. And then they sit down and they have a beer. So this episode, it's really just kind of about life lessons. Stone Cold's drinking with John, telling him, look, kid, throughout your life, you're going to have a lot of guys who are going to knock you down, but you just got to knock them down first. Don't take BS from anyone. Don't trust a McMahon. Blah, blah, blah. Giving him a lot of life tips before Cena finally asks Austin if he can do him one last favor. And that's getting the hell out of this joint because John has no idea where he's at. He doesn't even know what state they're in. Of course, they're in Texas. Where else would they be? So Austin leads him out of the desert. John Cena's in a world which is a bunch of cowboys and everything. And what's he see in the corner of his eyes? He says he sees a dead animal. Pretty much hanging, well, not dead, almost dead animal, hanging on for life. John Cena, of course, being the goodwill citizen that he is, he runs over to the animal, He's trying to make the animal's last moments a little better. And who approaches John Cena from behind? He turns around, and who's standing there? A very pissed off and angry Shawn Michaels, who just so happens to see John Cena eyeing his meal, pretty much, his prey, his hunt. And that's where we ended off now, as the next episode, of course, will feature Shawn Michaels, HB Shizzle himself. Come on, Byron Saxton, no one wants to hear your commentary over John Cena and friends, okay? 95A star for that episode. 48 D+ rating, as of course the Iconics come out again with a little bit of a pre-match promo on Naomi once again. They argue about who Naomi likes to lose to, you know, they keep going back and forth. No, she likes to lose to me. No, me. No, me. No, me. And if you get the joke here, they're going off and saying pretty much Naomi, but you know, with no me, and then they just mock her because the future's iconic. Gained some heat towards their feud though, so that's something. Match itself gets a 42 solid D rating here in a terrible matchup. Naomi goes over Peyton Royce in 2 minutes 58 seconds with a quick roll up, flash pinfall out of nowhere, catching her off guard. Billie Kay doing some good work ringside. Her and Peyton have great chemistry. It did cool the crowd. Billie's not suited to her gimmick, something I'm probably not going to have to change, because in all honesty, I think it's because she's an impressionist, and that's kind of like her gimmick, but I might have to change it to just being like a bitch or something. Naomi with a 39. Peyton Royce actually outperforming Naomi tonight with an in-ring performance of a 41. Good for her. Gained some heat for the feud as well. Peyton is improving in her Rumble. And then afterwards, after the match is over, Billie Kay attacks Naomi, and Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, the Iconics, are doing a little bit of a post-match attack on Naomi until finally Asuka's music hits and out she comes for the save. And it looks like we have ourselves a partner for Naomi to take on the Iconics with, kind of evening the numbers here. So, kind of a step down for Asuka, but at least she's being used again, because golly, we haven't seen her in a while. But like I said, kind of a step down for her to be, you know, teaming with Naomi and feuding with the Iconics right now. She hasn't even held the Women's Championship yet, has she? 76 B- rating here as Jeff Hardy reflects on his feud with Randy Orton so far. Great video package, by the way. It's just a shame I don't really remember everything that's really said or talked about. 68 C+ rating as Miz and Maurice are here. They actually showed up to work because, well, they're not going to eat anything from, I think it's Detroit they're in. They're not going to eat anything from there, and, you know, they actually came back because they're going to call out Bryan and Brie one more time, but unfortunately, Bryan and Brie are gone. They're out of here. But since Miz came all the way back, Paige is going to give him a match against who? Well, against anyone who wants to fight him, apparently. 58 C- as R-Truth confuses Maurice for Carmella backstage. Maurice is a little offended by that. Says, I can't believe you just compared me or confused me to that Staten Island trash. Miz is not too happy about R-Truth talking to his wife and calling her Carmella and all that. Truth is just confused about everything. Miz takes a jab at Truth, saying something like, when's the last time we teamed together? 7 years ago? Yeah, that's the last time you were relevant, pretty much. You know, so Miz is pissed. R-Truth is pissed. He doesn't see what Carmella, a.k.a. Maurice, sees in The Miz. But so, great stuff all around together. Good stuff. I enjoyed this. 58 C-. Gained heat for Carmella and R-Truth's feud, too, so there you have that. 69 C+ rating here as Samoa Joe comes out. And he's pretty much calling out AJ Styles, saying how the Styles family is taking him seriously now. And he kept his promise, basically, because AJ Styles is at home, hanging out with the family, getting to read his daughter a bedtime story tonight. But he will be taking that WWE Championship. Styles, you know, eventually appears on the Titantron, calls Joe a disgusting man for pretty much going after another man's family. And then his music ends up hitting, and it's not that AJ Styles is at home. No, AJ Styles is here in the arena, and he goes right after Joe. And while Joe does get the upper hand at first, Styles ends up beating down on Joe, trying to take him out with a steel chair until finally Paige, the general manager, and you know, a bunch of referees, you know, try to calm Styles down and separate the two. But AJ Styles getting the upper hand on Samoa Joe, who really wasn't expecting him to be here at all. Did get the crowd hotter though, so I guess that's good. 60 solid C rating here as R-Truth is looking for Carmella backstage with Ty Dillinger, and they find her. Truth goes up to Carmella. He asks Carmella if she'll be willing to, you know, put a truce for tonight only and join him ringside to take on The Miz tonight, of course, because, you know, the other Carmella's going to be there with him. That other Carmella, of course, being Maurice. Truth brings up the fact that Maurice called Carmella Staten Island trash. He says that blonde Barbie bimbo wants to call me trash or something. You know, if she wasn't married to the Miz, she'd be bagging groceries in Canada or whatever like that. So she gets all mad. Ty asks Truth what he's doing, and R-Truth says, "Well, my young Tyson," and that makes me laugh for two things. I love the fact that he calls him Tyson, but secondly, he called him young Tyson, and I'm pretty sure like Ty Dillinger's like 40-something years old, so he's definitely not young. But he's teaching Ty Dillinger how to get into the main event of Smackdown Live, and he gives him a smile as he walks off, while Ty just kind of sits there like, holy crap, he's right. Gained heat for the feud between him and Carmella, though. Look at that. Makes me think that Carmella will probably be turning face and is going to be aligned with R-Truth more now. That's what I have a feeling is going to happen. 48D pluses, once again, we hype up the triple threat tag team match. Winner faces the Bar next week, and winner of that match will face the New Day. But tonight we got Rusev Day versus Usos versus Sanity. Nope. 65 solid C rating here as we hype up the fact that R-Truth will battle The Miz in the main event tonight of SmackDown Live. But will Carmella be there with him? 71 B-, similar to what we had with Jeff Hardy. We got one with Orton now, as he kind of has a little bit of a video package where he reflects on his feud with Jeff Hardy. Again, good stuff there as well. I don't remember everything in the video package. He's just kind of talking about being sadistic and all that. But a great way to sell off the feud. That's one thing WWE's always been good at. It's their video packages. They always knock them out of the park and make you excited for what you're about to watch, even if it ends up not being good. 58 C- rating here because it's Rusev Day. Yeah. Aiden not suited to his gimmick. I didn't know that. Might have to check him out as well. Look at all these people I haven't checked out yet. Aiden gimmick. I'll check them out after 205. Well, after I do all the recordings for this stuff. So we got that going on there. Of course, everyone teasing heel or face turns. Now it is time for the triple threat tag team match. As I mentioned before, winner of this match faces the Bar next week, and the winner of that match between the Bar and whoever wins this will face the New Day at Hell in a Cell. And about that had decent wrestling, but not much weighing heat. Rusev Day. Aiden English and Rusev go over the Usos in Sanity in 12 minutes, 3 seconds when Rusev defeats Eric Young with the Machka kick. Alexander doing good work ringside. Apparently, Eric Young and Alexander Wolf have absolutely zero chemistry together, when, of course, Wolf is managing Eric Young. Of course, we already know about Aiden not being suited to his gimmick. Lana did some good work ringside. Apparently, him and Rusev. Rusev and Lana have pretty good chemistry, of course, when being managed. We know that already. The Usos have great chemistry when teaming together. Of course, face turns being teased here. Jey Uso with an in-ring performance of a 60. Jimmy Uso with a 65. Killian Dane with a 43, Eric Young with a 51, Rusev with a 70, looks like he was the best of the match, and Aiden English with a 49. I almost said he was the worst of the match, but that actually belongs to Killian Dane with a 43. Gained some heat for the Rusev Day feud. Any worker improvements? Yes. Jimmy is improving in Rumble, Jay is improving in Rumble, and Rusev is improving in Technical. So afterwards, the Bar comes out, and they kind of come out and start laughing at Rusev Day, who are all standing in the ring. And we see the opponents. It'll be the Bar versus Rusev Day. Next week, whoever wins this match will face the New Day. So we already know about Lana and Rusev's good chemistry, I should say. Bunch of face turns being teased as well. Good stuff all around. 64 solid C for the Bar laughing at Rusev Day. 61 solid C as we see Miz and Maurice getting ready for Miz's match backstage. A little bit of hiccup, excuse me. 60 solid C rating as we hype up the fact that at Hell in a Cell it'll be mixed tag team action as Bryan and Brie will face Miz and Maurice. 63 solid C rating here as before the match takes place, Miz and Maurice take the time to cut a brief little promo on Daniel Bryan. Miz is tired of, he says it's like 8 years, he's tired of proving that he's better than Daniel Bryan and all that. He goes to call Bryan out one more time, but Maurice reminds him, look, they're just too afraid of us, they're not going to come out, which he's totally correct about. Miz is, eventually interrupted by the music of Carmella, because it is true, it's true, oh, it's true. Carmella is accompanying accompanying R-Truth tonight. And they even do What's Up together. They sing What's Up, and my God, that was annoying. Every time Carmella, What's Up? Whoo! I wanted someone to shut her mic down quick. If you're wondering why Andrade and Selena are all here, it's because during this angled promo, Miz showed off the match from last week as well. So Miz looked good. Apparently Maurice was very underwhelming. That's a shame for her. R-Truth is improving in his acting, and he's learning to show more charisma. So good for him. And it is now main event time. R-Truth in the main event of SmackDown. Who would have guessed? 63 solid C rating here for our main event in a decent matchup. R-Truth goes over the Miz in 10 minutes, 5 seconds. Of course, after distraction from Daniel Bryan. Miz was very furious about this. I had to keep him protected and kept him strong for him to be fine with taking this loss. Back and forth. These guys, you know, they put on actually a pretty good matchup here. Decent match. They probably have just, you know, been working with each other for so long that, you know, they know each other a lot, you know, pretty well. But similar to last week when Miz and Maurice distracted Daniel Bryan to kind of give... I don't think he lost to Andrade. I think it was like a disqualification or something like that. But here it ends up backfiring on the Miz. Daniel Bryan's music hits, and out comes Brie and Bryan. Miz is distracted. Truth takes this opportunity to roll him up for a quick, fast roll up. 1, 2, 3. R-Truth wins the main event against Miz on SmackDown Live. And right after, Miz doesn't even get a chance to be mad because Bryan goes right after him. But we'll get to that. Miz and Maurice have good chemistry when Maurice is managing Miz, so that's good to know. Carmella doing some good work ringside. Miz with an in-ring performance of a 71. R-Truth a 52. It did lose heat for his feud with Bryan here. Surprised Carmella and Truth's feud didn't move along, though, with Carmella being ringside. And then we end off the show with a 64 solid C rating here as Daniel Bryan finally gets to punch the Miz in the face. He's beating down on Miz. Brie Bella's stalking Maurice, and she goes to beat down on her. But Selena Vega and Andrade Cien Almas, I don't know if they got some partnership with Miz and Maurice. I don't know if they just don't like Bryan and Brie, but they come out once again to help out Miz and Maurice, and they end up paying for it because it backfires on them. Because instead of Miz and Maurice taking the L, Andrade and Selena end up taking the L as they get locked in the yes lock in the middle of the ring. They're tapping. Miz eventually runs after them to try to help them out. And it kind of works because Bryan and Brie do let go, but Miz ends up getting punked out in the process. Bryan and Brie do the yes chance to end off the show. And Miz and Maurice just kind of look off like, ooh, I can't believe you guys just did that. Ooh, that Bryan. Bryan looked good, Maurice underwhelming, and Selena Vega underperformed. No worker improvements, though. As we end off the show, what do we get? We get a... What? How? Huh? I was expecting a B-. That's what this show felt like to me, is a B-. How you gonna give me a solid 80B rating here? What you talking about, too? Okay. Well, somehow we got a solid 80B, and we also increased our popularity in 27 regions. Not exactly sure how, but you know what? Madman Vince is on a roll here. He knows what he's doing. So, that is going to be the end of this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor. Comment, like, subscribe. And I will see you guys for 205 Live. I got to go watch that real quick, and then I will get to that in the Mae Young Classic ASAP. But, yeah, have a good one, guys. I'll see you later.